and Lunox perhaps.
Yeah, I feel like the marksman, one of the marksmen can work here, but no, they're still sticking with the Sun and the Yuzong. A full melee composition for the side of Alterego, and I was completely right about this. It's going to be that Matilda in the mid lane and the Cho as a roamer. This is insane. Alterego, they're shaping the meta. They're shaping the meta. This is not the standard that we've seen in our ranked games in the different regions as well here.
Yeah, I believe this is like 4 fighters here for the side of Alterego. So it is going to be so interesting to see here their execution, and in response, GEEKFAM will pick up that Barats.
Yeah, they needed a front line here. There's a lot of engage, a lot of dive for the side of Alterego with literally every single hero able to dive in. GEEKFAM needed that Barats, basically adding a little bit more CC cover, and also just they need someone to soak in the damage because Edith will not be able to take all of that damage by himself. So, based on the draft, both of them have opted to go for literally the absolute, like the literal opposites of each other. Alterego with the dive, GEEKFAM with the front to back. Who do you have it for Eterna?
Honestly, with how Schwan has been playing with that Clint as well, I think the Clint will have a very hard time, especially with the Yuzong coming into the foray, the Phobius, the Cho, as well as the Matilda. So looking at this, I'm just going to go flat, say Alterego.
All right, but Gani, I want to know your predictions as well before we dive into the game.
Yeah, all dive, all Alterego.
All dive, all Alterego. It is going to be 2 votes for Alterego, and I will have to agree as well. Let's see if they're able to push the tempo and control the game once again. Are you guys ready to get into the Land of Dawn for the second game in the series? GEEKFAM taking on Alterego with a very, very aggressive composition. They would want to go and take the game from the start of it.
Wow, again, looking at the composition here from side of GEEKFAM. They lack CC, I believe. So my guess is Alterego with that heavy dive comp will try to punish that fact, because with Yuzong, with that demonic force from Phobius, all crazy team fights initiation will occur here in game number 2.
Okay, Rossi jumping in with the Jikundo, still able to deal some damage onto Renvi, but both of the teams will just back away. It is only the battle for Little Wanderer. Renvi though, I thought Rossi would be aggressive there and maybe flicker in, but nope. It's still both the teams playing very, very passively, only trading in the first minute.
Yeah, I mean, right now from the composition of GEEKFAM, I'm wondering if the roamer could have been played better. No, I mean like chosen better. I feel with such a high melee-centered type of heroes coming in from Alterego, I would have thought maybe a Ruby or a Lolita to actually do quite well against what is going on with Alterego Esports right now. But with such an aggressive type of composition here from Alterego, they are kind of pushing up the pace so far, and this is quite difficult to see.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very tough here, but it's going to be Rossi actually making a mistake. Instant response from the side of Renvi, catching him off and punishing him and getting the first blood for GEEKFAM. Presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series. A good pickup, but we saw this before as well. Game number 1, it was GEEKFAM with the early side. Alterego recovered really, really well though.
I gotta agree with you here. 2 first blood collected by GEEKFAM, but will the outcome be the same as game number 1? Again, a slight miscalculation there from Rossi. Gets punished. Hopefully, more follow-up from side of GEEKFAM. 4-man rotation bot side.
Heavy dive composition. GEEKFAM though already positioning themselves to gank over on Nino. He needs to be very, very careful here because one mistake can be fatal. Julian hitting on the turret, but it's going to be Rexlona jumping in with a circling eagle onto Julian. Renvi does not get the onward, and that's going to be the flicker popped by Rexlona to get Nino out of there. Turtle on the top side will be taken away by Amy, and that is a trade. GEEKFAM get nothing for the price of the first turtle.
Yeah, we see they are trying to initiate something. They are trying to pick up the tempo, to pick up the pace, but the issue is Rexlona is playing Matilda really, really well, being able to use the guiding wind to deny the pick-off composition coming in from GEEKFAM right now. But ooh, seems like another pick will be going on once again.
Yeah. Amy has nowhere to go, a little bit too aggressive into the enemy jungle and will be picked off by GEEKFAM. But on the other side though, Rossi goes in for the way. The Dragon Fin still has the black shoes, will be able to sustain back up to full HP, getting away and forcing one ultimate from the side of Alterego, but still nothing being taken away for the side of GEEKFAM. It's only the first objective controlled by Alterego.
Yeah, from minute number 3 here, I believe GEEKFAM, the 2 kills that they collected is what they need. And with the two marksmen in their composition, I believe they really want to slow down their tempo, which is what they're doing. But Alter Ego, truthfully, they really need to step up. They really need to pick up their pace here as the pause is going on from minute number 3 here. GeekFam, I believe they repaired their mistakes in game number 1. Hopefully, though, in the mid game, they will not repeat the same mistakes, because in the mid game, Alter Ego from game number 1, they managed to find their tempo. They managed to make proactive plays, and maybe, just maybe, in game number 2, this is what they're going for as well.
Yeah, Alter Egos, they seem to be making a little more mistakes than
Yeah.
they did in the previous game. I don't know if this is overconfidence or what because of winning that first game, but if they do this is going to be hard for them, because obviously GeekFam, they are made to be able to capitalize over this with the kiting type of composition that they have, as well as the scaling burst damage that they have as well in that composition, in that Lilia as well.
I mentioned them being looking very confident, looking very comfortable up on stage, but this can actually be bad for them. Because they might be overconfident, they might be too comfortable,
Yeah.
and when that happens, you can see Amy made a huge blunder already. In game number 1, he only got taken down once, and that was not in the early stage. Early stage, he was able to farm freely. He got ganked 4 members, all the resources spent on him. This time, though, it was only 2. So GeekFam has made a few adjustments in their game plan, and already we can see improvements. But will they be able to use this early lead to get more on the board? That is always going to be the question for the side of GeekFam.
Yeah, I feel like GeekFam's strategy now is to deny the proactive movements coming from side of Alter Ego, because sure, Hovius, Sun, and as well as Yuzong, their power spikes is in the mid game. Perhaps of late, after 2 items, they want to find a team fight, and if GeekFam could deny that proactive movements, GeekFam has a chance to push this series to a game number 3.
If Alter Ego can't take the early game, I'm scared for them in towards the late game, right? Because Nino has opted to choose his comfort pick instead of a more meta type of hero like the Marksmans. With the Yuzong, how far can this go in towards the late game, knowing that GeekFam, they have the Clint, they have the Barretts, they have the Lilia, as well as the Edith, to be honest, with such an outstanding amount of damage.
This is actually very reminiscent of Alter Ego X back in the MDL. This is the exact same composition, I believe, that they used in one of their games where, again, it went to the late game. Not that good for the side of Alter Ego when it does go to the late game, because they do not win in these team fights, but they have a Sun. So split pushing will be their win condition if it does get to that later stage of the game, but it is time to take a look at the items here, Gani.
Oof. Schwan here building up aggressively on his way already towards this endless battle, and I believe it is still a farming phase here, minute number 4, so it is still quite even from the items. We will just have to see here, because Alter Ego, just like what Turner mentioned, will not have a good time in the late game. So they need to be proactive, but of course with maximum calculation.
Yeah, the issue is now that Rasi is on the Cho, he wants to be able to initiate the fights like he did in game number 1. He was the main enabler, right? We talked about this. But the problem is when he goes in, he could be easily countered by the Maze with the ultimate that he has, as well as the Earth Shatter coming in from Edith. So now he has to be a little bit more calculated than he was, and this is going to show how important this next turtle fight is.
Yeah, as good turtle actually taken away by Julian right now, and no response from Alter Ego. Aside from the kill that they were able to get in the bottom side, that is just a turtle given away to GeekFam. But how did that even happen in the bottom side? How Schwan right now on the Clint has not been efficient. He brought the Purify and he still was taken down. Not meta, like you said, this Yuzong. But he still got the kill on Schwan. And maybe he needs a bigger screen. Go to center. Plus, it's going to be Renvi actually going for the onward and able to get Nino down. Black Dragon Form not available just yet. He's going to be able to try to outplay, but is not going to be able to do anything much. GeekFam will be able to punish Nino, who was a little bit overextended there in the bottom side.
The only way Schwan can actually get a kill is if they are like 2 members or 3 members have been appointed towards him. The issue that I keep seeing over and over with Schwan is his positioning. I don't understand why, but he likes to position himself really forward. And this actually poses the question whether or not Schwan is actually comfortable in the gold lane, knowing that this is a new role for him in the season.
Yeah, oh my god, damage from Rex Lona. Able to chunk half of Vince's HP away right now as GeekFam have actually taken control of the game. They have the gold lead, they got the turtle, and they've actually translated that bottom side kill on to the turrets. And now are leading by 700 gold. This is good.
Yeah, this is good. And if you take a look at the damage delta, Rex Lona is leading apart from Vince and Maze. So for now, there's an engage.
Yep, Renvi jumps in, not going to be able to get the follow-up he needs though, because it is going to be Rasi getting away with the guiding win. But yeah, both teams still just farming, not really going for anything too aggressive right now, waiting for that turtle to spawn before they do. Amy though, what the heck? He jumps in onto 4 members. Earthshatter will only be able to connect onto the clone, and Renvi gets chunked really, really low. Amy is low as well though, but it's only his clone, so it's all good. They're setting up for the turtle really, really well.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they want to do right now. They want to be able to pick off any member from the side of GeekFam in order for them to set up for this next turtle. Because that's exactly what they want. They want to play for the early. And like I mentioned here, Vince is going to be the next victim perhaps. But unfortunately with Maves in the area, GeekFam is starting to be able to read what Alter Ego Esports wants. And hopefully it won't translate there in the top lane.
All right, Alterego playing both sides of the map, and the top side is going to be Cho jumping onto the Granger. Not going to be able to get anything done there because it's going to be Granger actually outplaying the situation there, but it's going to be Amy as well in this position. Renvi goes for the flicker, and that is going to be the turtle taken away. Even after spending all the resources, Maze will not be able to get out. Amy dealing the damage, jumping back inside, and that's going to be the kill picked up. Renvi is nowhere to go. Nino gets into the tournament, Earthshatter to save the day, but that is an incredible trade by Alter Ego.
Yeah, being able to take that turtle as well is actually insane right now. And we can already see the gold kind of shift back on towards Alter Ego Esports. So coming into the next team fights, I think GeekFam, they need to set up a bit more properly. I know they were looking for an engage. It was cool. The Earthshatter did hit. But unfortunately, the follow-up was just not there. And they were unable to take it into their own hands.
Earthshatter, Amy, clutch to get out of that situation. But GeekFam always losing control here in the middle stages of the game. Is it discipline? Is it setup? What is it, Don?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, man. GeekFam, sure, in the early game, they have the gold lead, even the turret lead, but no follow-up. What? The rhythm, the tempo, the synergy was just not there, and Alter Ego looks for more.
Yeah, it's going to be Julian jumping in with the Detonata. Pi goes in, but it's going to be Nino with the flanks. Look at the damage! The Petrify connects on the 3, and Pi is there for the follow. He jumps in once again with a Demonic Force all the way, but he's going to get taken down. Amy looking for a kill onto Renvi, but he needs to be careful because the Earthshatter will be there as well. That is a 2 for 0. GeekFam played it perfectly.
Yep, but they had to lose 2 members instead. So now GeekFam, right now, they are playing it quite well. They are able to kite back, and that's exactly the winning condition that they need. Alter Ego Esports, they want to go in heavy. But now, Schwann's positioning is going to be very important in the team fights. If they can't take Schwann down, it's going to be very easy for them to actually bring back the damage that was put on towards them. Like this is what's going to happen now.
Oh man, honestly, the Sun is just so versatile. And even in that situation where you have someone like the Edith with just a chain CC, wasn't able to get the kill on to the Monkey Man.
Yeah, in the earlier team fight, that was GeekFam needs to do. The kiting game was so real, and picking off 2 members. Uh-oh, Schwann here is in trouble.
Yeah, Schwann nowhere to go. Rossi goes in for the flicker, and that's the kill once again. Schwann. 3 times picked off in the game, 9 minutes in. This may be a turning point once again for Alter Ego to control the game with the objectives in that top side being taken down.
Yikes, man. I mean, GeekFam, sure, they are still holding on. With 2 marksmen, you want to drag the game long. But Alter Ego, they are starting to move that proactive movements. They are starting to find their pickoffs because, again, Yu Tong and as well as Phobius has that power spikes, has those items. So I believe that they want team fights, and especially Lord is up. So this is going to be critical for both of the teams.
Yep, we're going to have to see what happens here in the next few minutes. And this is exactly what GeekFam needs to do. They need to pay a little bit more patient, honestly. I mean, Schwann, once again, isn't performing as well as I expected. He is the main damage dealer right now as we're going to enter the mid game. But unfortunately, he gets picked off a lot. But wait a minute.
Maves goes in for the flicker, able to get some damage down, but it's going to be the Lord taken away. Schwann will be targeted instantly once again as Nino picks up the kill. Geek still in it to win it right now as that's going to be Julian kiting away. Rossi goes over to Zeke, on 2 members. Pi jumps in with a Demonic Force, unable to get the damage onto them, but it's going to be Nino jumping back and forth, getting the kill once again, and that is another 2 for 1, but this time for the side of Alterego as they've also picked up the Lord. Julian with the Rhapsody almost picking off Rossi, but man, oh man, Alterego are clean in these skirmishes.
Yeah, 1 for 2 trade as of right now, and this is looking good, especially with the Lord in their hands as well. Now, the issue is, if they do want to drag us into the late game, how long can they stave off? Because already so much pressure from the Sun moving and being able to take another objective on the board in that top side.
Yeah, I agree. I gotta agree
Red
with you
team
here.
turret
Real time
has
win
been
probably
destroyed.
ahead for Alterego. But yeah, Lilia building glowing one is so interesting to see because I feel like the passive, the slow effect, the burning effect is not needed. But Vince think otherwise here. Alterego Esports still with the control. 4 turrets down for them, for GeekFams. But if you take a look, another a second here from the item, Hunter Strike was built here for Nino, so the penetration coming in is there. Nino is the man to open fights. I'm just curious to see GeekFam's response here because sure, they have a kiting composition, but for now, it's not really clear.
Amy, gotta be careful. He gets munched on, and that might be the turn. Amy gets caught off, but he's actually gonna be able to tank everything. The resources have been burnt. Nino comes in for the flank. He jumps in with a Furious Diamond. The Petrify will be able to connect onto Vince, although the Black Shoes will be able to save him. Now on the back foot. Oh, Rassi goes in for the Jikundo onto 4. Alterego are on a roll. GeekFam forced to back away. Amy jumps in once again to deal some damage, but it's gonna be Rex Lona picks off, and that is a mistake from both of the teams. But Alterego recovered really well with a big play from Rossi.
That was insane plays coming in from Alterego Esports. I thought that maybe with that initiation, it would have been a team fight for the side of GeekFam. But I don't know why they spent so many resources on that. And the other members coming in from Alterego Esports just had a really easy time diving into the back line and doing what they did. I mean, on paper, actually, GeekFam has the composition to be able to withstand the prolonged team fights, especially with the amount of DPS that they have. But now we're going to take a look at the instant replay by Samsung Galaxy A series.
Yeah, Rassi there with the opening, with the kite and go back. Somehow opens a fight,
Blue team turret
but
has
at the
been
end of the day,
destroyed.
it was a 2-for-1 trade for the side of GeekFam. We will see here because GeekFam slowly but surely grabbing on, holding on to this game, and in the late game, mind you, 2 marksmen. So they are going to look very scary. To add to that Lilia has damage, 305 from Vince, a huge impact, 100 participation percentage.
I think that was a miscommunication, honestly, because I thought that Rossi made that play to recover from a bad engage, right? He was trying to get his friends out of there, but no, they thought it was an engage. They went
Overcommit.
back in, overcommitting. Remember that they haven't taken the inner turret, so that base turret is still up, and they went diving into there with no respect, I feel like. But yeah, Alterego still with the lead, 4,000 gold lead at this point, Eterna.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. And now they will be able to set up for this next Lord. And this Lord is going to be a bit more important for Alterego Esports, honestly, seeing the composition that the GeekFam has brought onto the table. But they might actually not leave this without a fight.
Yeah, Maeve's going in with a death is welcome, but he's going to be taken down instantly right here. A mistake once again. You do not want to target Amy. He is too versatile. He can go invisible, make some clones, and instantly you're just not going to be able to do anything. Renvi jumps in with Onward, unable to connect onto Rossi as he is just zoning all of the GeekFam members. Concealed though, they're trying to force this play. Vince going in, but it's going to be Nino jumping in the Black Dragon form all the way to the backside, still able to zone away the members as Schwan will be petrified. The damage comes in, and that's going to be all the members forced to back away. Only one member left. Vince is isolated. Amy picks up the kill, and another shutdown picked up for this team. A 6,000 gold lead, and the Lord goes to the hands of Alterego.
Once again, the Lord into the hands of Alterego. And honestly, Amy it's giving GeekFam such a catch-22 situation. What I mean by that is that they want to be able to take the Sun out, the Amy out, but unfortunately, with so many clones in his arsenal, he's actually able to bait a lot of resources from the side of GeekFam and allowing and opening up more opportunities for his teammates to go in and heavily on towards the back line. I mean, Schwan was caught in a bad situation. He couldn't output the damage that he could. And these are the things that Alterego Esports really understand, and it's very clear when it comes down to a team fight.
Yeah, I agree here. But looking at the economy here, I believe Alterego's objectives are to take down 3 inhibitors. We will see from the offense from Alterego.
Yeah, Enhanced Lord is gonna march down into that top side. Base turret number 1 taken down. Rossi going in for the Ji Kundo, only to zone away Maves from that Lord, but that is welcome Pai. Purify instantly to respond to that play. GEEKFAM will be able to take down the Lord, but at what cost? The base turret and the inner turret in the mid lane will be taken down for free. They need to be looking for a fight this time around, man. They need to look for an efficient fight. They need to get the right member. Do not target Amy. The guy is too versatile.
Yeah, exactly what I mentioned earlier. Catch-22 situation when it comes down to Amy. But remember, the clock is ticking as well, guys. So if GEEKFAM can actually keep this up for a little bit longer, just perhaps, maybe, they are able to itemize as properly as they can to be able to withstand the initial burst from Alterego Esports, but can withstand more pressure with the DPS that they have in their midst.
Well, all right then. Rossi jumping in once again. That's going to be an entire engage. Rossi gets the pick on the Schwan, and he's going to get taken down. Instantly, the follow-up is beautiful. Pai jumps in with a demonic force all the way to the backside, but it's going to be Amy finishing the game off with the base take. The distraction was all they needed.
Wow.
2-0.
2-0, and Alterego here with a clean setup for game number 2. It wasn't as fast as game number 1, but they make sure that they stayed disciplined. Amy with 2 Sunspick managed to take the dub, managed to take the series, and GEEKFAM was nowhere to be found here, especially in game number 1. But in game number 2, they have their improvements, but unfortunately, at the end of the day, there was no follow-up. The follow-up was not enough.
The Sun meta is real, guys. The Sun meta is real.
The
I don't
Sun
know.
Johnson meta.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, I don't understand why, but the more crazier your picks are, the more it works, right? We saw yesterday the Kadita as well as the Johnson duo, and the one
Franco
time
didn't work though.
Right, wait, but the one time they didn't use it, they lost. And then they used it again, and then they won. And today, with the Sun pick in the jungle position, I think this breeds something new. This is something crazy fresh for MPL ID, man. The crazier your picks are, the more chances